My first guest tonight is an Oscar-winning movie star. His latest film, 3 Days to Kill, is in theaters on Friday. Oh, yes, it's Kevin Costner, everybody! What's up, big time? You're looking good, looking relaxed, looking like... May I touch your... Wow.
Perfect.
Is that...
Perfect. What a good start to this whole thing. I mean, we're already...
Yeah. I mean, we can keep going. Now, what we do in my country is now you touch my leg.
That's all. That's a good... Yeah, what we do in my country.
Yeah.
A good around the corner.
How you doing? This is a return to the action violence gun movie, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I've kind of made my living making all kinds of movies, and I like that. I mean, I think one of the nicest things for me is when people do come up and say a movie that they like. I never know what's going to come out of their mouth, and I'm kind of glad that my career didn't drill down to a certain movie.
No, I mean, you've made like some of the most like significant, and I think my own like love of movies like Untouchables, Field of Dreams, I mean, like Dances with Wolves. These are like huge movies. To have one of those in a career, it would be spectacular. To even work with Sean Connery once, for God's sakes.
I'll say this: people ask you about the best actor you've ever worked with, the blah blah blah, and I say this, and it eliminates actors in a way which you never really want to do. And I've always said that I thought Gene Hackman was the strongest actor I've ever worked with, but I felt that Sean Connery was the biggest star that I ever worked with, and that doesn't diminish how great an actor he was.
Right.
But when he walked around, there was no bigger star than Sean Connery.
You know, when I did a thing, they were having a thing for him in Hollywood, like a kind of a night where you pay a tribute to him, and that's the night I met him. And I was with my fiancée at the time, who's now my wife, and Sean must have been about 73, 74 at the time, and he came over and he said, he's Sean Connery. So he said, I introduced him to my wife, Megan, and he went, hello, Megan, nice to meet you. Oh. And she blushed from her breasts all the way up. I was like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
She was like, it's Sean Connery.
The biggest star.
Biggest star in the world. Women go crazy for this guy.
And he was such a fair, he's such a fair man. I remember at one point that he thought something was when he lived out of the country, if he does too much work, he loses a lot of money in taxes. And Sean watched his money very, very carefully. But when he took that job, he was really careful with the producer, saying, okay, look, I have to be out at a certain time. He was very careful about that, and they got lazy about it. And it really put him in a spot. And I remember I caught him in the bar one night, and he said, Mr. Nash, come over here.
I see, I knew you would do it.
Well, he does, and he did, but you come, just like, he says something like that, you got to trot over there. And he had a list of things. He wanted me to look at that list and say, do you remember this happening? Do you remember this happening? Do you remember this happening? And what it said to me was he was going to tear somebody's head off, but he wanted to be really sure that he was fair, and then he was going to go tear this person's head off. And I just thought he's a very fair man.
Yeah, and a brutal, frightening man as well, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Come here, Mr. Nash.
Yeah.
I just want to check this. Did you ever play golf with him?
I did once, and I don't know, just being with him. I mean, he loved the game for a long time. I got introduced to it through Tin Cup, really. Before that, I might have maybe played once a year with the father-in-law, and but see, he loved it so much, and just being with that guy was...
it's crazy.
I've had a lot of good things happen to me. He was one of the really best.
He was like, everybody in Scotland, he's like an icon in Scotland.
Yeah.
And I never played golf at all until I was 50 years old.
Right.
I'm 51, and my rebellion as a kid was to not play golf.
Right.
Everyone's like doing Sean Connery and playing golf. and so I started doing it, and I'm like, I've wasted half my life not playing golf.
Yeah.
Are you into it now?
I think you can waste half your life playing golf.
Playing golf, yeah.
It just takes so long.
Sure.
You play, you go out, the sun goes away, and your life's ruined.
Yeah. See, the thing about you do is, like, you're not just acting, but you direct the movies, right? When you go back to acting and not directing movies, do you lose your temper? Are you very short-tempered with directors and stuff?
No, I say that when you direct, it seems like the questions never end, and they never stop. And I'm really grateful to be directed. You know, I don't want to be put in the corner where I go, this doesn't exactly feel right. I'll let them know that it doesn't feel right. But I like acting for directors. I played a lot of sports. I always like playing for a coach.
Right.
I like the idea of getting it right.
What about, like, in Dances with Wolves, when you see your bare ass, you're like, I'm going to put my bare ass in the scene now? Yeah. Or, like, maybe we could use that ass guy to use the bare ass.
I didn't have enough money to pay somebody to do it. So, you know,
you got money now.
Yeah, I got money now. Yeah. But, yeah, you read that in the script and you think, But I swear when anything that's odd, like nudity or love, that comes with the business. But anytime something like that is written perfectly into a movie,
right,
the embarrassment of it goes away, because it's so, when people start to just take their shirt off to take it off, when people just, let's have another.
Oh, I've been a few nights like that. Yeah. But what about, like, when you're the director of the movie? Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you're not talking, are you?
No.
No, not about that.
Yeah. But when you're directing a movie, you're in charge of it. Like, that's your ship. You're captain of the ship. So you're walking about with your junk hanging out, saying, all right, you guys, everybody over there, shoot my ass properly and light it better.
Well, it's true. And I had to actually tell my parents, because my parents followed me, like, they saw all my Little League games, everything, and when I went out to direct a movie, they bought a trailer and took it out to South Dakota, and they go, we won't be in your way, we'll just be on a hill over here, and we'll watch you. I mean, it was like, I'm a grown man. And I would look up on the hill in the morning, and they had 2 lawn chairs and a motor home, and I'd go to work with all the guys, and I'd see my mom wave at me, and I'd go to my mom, and it was, you know, on some end you can be embarrassed by that, and on another way you can go, man, I had parents that, you know,
that's
really.
That's fantastic,
yeah,
I think.
It was.
And that's really good.
Yeah, Mom, you got to get over the other hill. You're in the shot.
I was doing a movie once, and my parents came to visit, and they saw the setup, and they said, this is really wonderful, son. Someone should take a photograph. I'm like, this is all so that we can get a photograph. It's the whole thing is about putting it on the camera.
You can do a lot of things. I've never told this story in Dances with Wolves, when I'm actually writing, kind of give up my life, and I kind of do that Catholic thing. And then the soldier who's about to shoot me gets shot in the forehead. He does that, and I cut back, and it was my father with the gun.
Oh, wow.
I said, you want to be in the movie? You want to save me? And he said, yeah. And
that's a fantastic story.
Yeah, there's a little things that you can throw people into. You know, in fact, though, I'm not even going to say that. So it goes nowhere.
Wait.
No,
let me stop. Have you ever seen this show before? Did you see the monologue? This is where we go. Nowhere. You're on the road to nowhere.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with Kevin Costner.
I got him.
Kevin, you've been a big movie star for a long time now, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
Are you in are you in therapy at all?
No. No, I'm not.
Well, now is perhaps the time.
All right, here we go.
All right, then. So, Kevin, I see you're wearing a hide trouser. What are you trying to hide in your trousers? Would you ever get therapy? Are you kind of that?
See, just a second. Nothing.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Would you ever get that? Would you ever investigate your own mind? Is it something that you think you would benefit from? Have you ever done it?
No, I tried to teach myself how to go under hypnosis, just because I thought, you know, sometimes when you're acting, everything is there's just so much going on, and whenever you do anything, the best is when you're the most relaxed. And I thought, maybe if I could just take myself under and get rid of all the distractions. It never worked, but I've kind of searched around how to do this job, you know.
Oh, you're not bad at it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, I think you may work out. The movie is 3 Days to Kill. Kevin Costner. It opens on Friday. It opens on Friday. Kevin Costner, everybody. Kevin Costner.
I'll be back in 8 months. Can never get rid of him, can you?